Get ahead of postage rate increases this year with Stamps.com. It's like your own personal post office. Sign up with promo code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com, code PROGRAM.
Welcome to a special one-off event, a second episode for the week. This is going to be a little bit of a surprise and thank you for all my listeners. This is the interview I did with UDO Dirkschneider from Accept and from UDO, or his first tour of Australia back in April of this year in 2023. So it was a nice chance to catch up with one of our heroes here of the show and to talk about all things music, touring, modern music, vocals, how to keep them, and all sorts of things. But also, I did it for Metal Roos, which is as you would have known a few weeks ago, my interview with Michael. His amazing project, which he started when he came to Australia, Metal Roos, which is a great place to go to find all your information for underground, modern, big bands, small bands, interviews, photography, gig reviews, news. Is kept up to date weekly. He's got some brilliant information in there for those that are just getting into the scene, or those that just want to keep on top of all what's moving and shaking in the music industry. So Metal Roos, and you can go there, metalroos.com. It's really easy to find it. I'll put a link in the show description below. But here's my interview with UDO Dirkschneider. It's only a short one because he only had a small window, but it was a great one. Really enjoyed it. Such a nice guy. Enjoy the show. Start recording so we can.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. So give it a few seconds to load because my computer's being weird recently. It takes a few seconds to start recording. Okay.
No.
Hello, Udo. How are you going?
Hello. Yeah, everything fine. I'm getting ready to come over to Australia.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's the first time you've been over, isn't it?
Yes, after I don't know how over 40 years. I'm waiting for this.
Well, it is a long way.
Yeah, it is a long way. That's the only not so good thing, to have a long flight from Germany to Australia.
Yeah. I just got. Yeah, it's a long way, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's rock and roll, right? That's rock and roll.
Yeah, that's rock and roll. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. So we're really excited to see you down here. Obviously, there's a lot of big metalheads here in Australia, and you're going to find out that we really do sort of. Love to have big names here, and you don't get much bigger than you in the business, so it's going to be really good to have you here.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'm really looking forward to do some shows in Australia. I mean, hopefully we can open up the market a little bit and maybe come over again and do some more shows in Australia, But now this time I'm coming over as Dirkschneider.
Yeah.
So that was the wish also of the promoter. They say, when you come, you want to hear the original voice, but Accept. And for me, it was not a problem. I mean, I did so many shows here in Europe under Dirkschneider, also in America and South America. So for me, I said, no problem. For me, it's like the most important thing to come over to Australia and see what's going on there. I hope there are a lot of people coming to the shows, and so then they hear only Accept songs this time, and maybe the next time, if we can come back to Australia, then we do also some UDO stuff.
I think that's good though to get your early stuff here first because you haven't been here before. So it'd be good for the fans to hear, Breaker and Balls to the Wall and all that sort of stuff. I think it'd be a good for you to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, we all love your solo work as well, of course. You've got such a catalogue. I mean, I was just listening to your latest one, My Way.
Oh, this cover album, that's a different thing.
I think it's I think it's really good though. When is that out? Is that out? It's April, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that was out last year in April, I think.
Yeah.
Nearly to my birthday. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the fact that you sang in your native tongue on it. like in German?
Yeah, I mean that was the first time ever, I sing a song within my own mother language. But I tell you, that was not so easy to do this. I mean, I thought, okay, come on, German is my mother language. It's easy to sing that. No,
Yeah. Is it
not so easy.
Is it because of your vocal range, and that's why it's harder in the German language? Doesn't vote to that kind of volume, or
Yeah, no, we have hard accents in German.
yes,
The words are really hard. And
yeah,
to sing in this way, I mean, it's not so easy. I mean, Rammstein, they also, I mean, they do it. They never were singing in English, but they have some
no.
English clubs, but they normally sing in German. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes very interesting how he's doing this.
Mm.
And yeah, but I mean, anyway, it works, and it was a good lesson for me to sing in my own mother language. And it looked like the people liked the song also in Germany. It was like, wow, Udo singing in German.
Yeah.
Fantastic, especially for the German fans, also from foreign countries. It was like, wow, that's a great sound. So, but I don't think we keep going on with English.
Well, yeah, I agree. But I was really refreshing to me when I heard the album because, as I said, it's nice for your birthday present for yourself to represent your birthplace and your natural tongue. And
Yes.
And I just think it was really refreshing. I was listening to it, wasn't expecting to hear that when I put it on, and it was like, oh, this is really, and you could feel. And don't get me wrong, when you speak or sing in English, there's passion. You've got a lot of passion, but when it's your native tongue, there's something more. It's like when you watch a foreign movie with subtitles. If they dub it, it's not the same, right? You don't get the same nuances.
Yeah, I
Gives you.
mean, I mean, this album, the most important thing for me with this cover album was that I can put my own character on vocal-wise. It was makes no sense to copy Klaus Meine or Rob Halford or whatever.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And that was the most important thing, and that it works. And then a lot of people say, "Wow, the sound is like can be your own songs." It's like, and that was very interesting to hear this, So I'm happy with this album.
Yeah,
and
I'd love to see it play it live. I have to say, I'm looking forward to seeing the classics.
That's already a lot of people asking, "Oh, why you not make a special tour? Do all these cover songs, Maybe one day. It's no idea, but at the moment we are so busy, So that's finished with the new UDO album. It's coming out in August, and so
that's going to be a killer. That's going to be a killer.
Yeah, but it's different than the last one. But anyway.
Oh, that's the beauty of your career, though. I mean, you've been going for 50 years. I mean, you're gonna always try to be different. It's not easy, right? To find fresh.
Yeah, it's also a very important thing for me, and I never was sitting down, especially with UDO, and say, okay, this album was successful, we have to do the same direction again, No, it's always like, okay, that's the album, and the new one, it's always different. Okay, the basic is in a way the same, but you put something on top, new arrangement, thing, and now especially with this young band what I have, I mean, they are just 30 years old, and so I mean, it's a completely different generation, and they have different ideas, and that also keeps me fresh, It's like, very interesting. I'm really open-minded to this, and that was, especially when the new album was coming up, it's like, that will be very interesting. We will see what the people say.
Well, you know what? That's it. They're going to vote with their feet, right? But when you've got this tour coming on, how hard was it to pick a set list for so many albums?
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like, of course, I know in the meanwhile also with UDO, we have so many classic stuff already, like with UDO, Animal House, They Want War, and Heart of Gold, and I mean, Man and Machine. There's so many songs,
Yeah.
So, and it's always hard to yeah, to make a good mix up, you know. Then okay, we sometimes say, okay, we didn't play this song for a long time. Then we put that in again, you know. So, but of course, you also want to play new songs from the new album, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so easy, you
It's
know.
not easy,
But
because you've got to try and please everyone. There's going to be like me. I'd go and go, is he not playing Son of a Bitch? What? You know, and things like that. And you've got to try and make sure you please everyone. Also yourself. You have to sing the songs, right? So,
yeah, I mean, of course, you know, for me, the good thing is, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of set list we are doing, especially now with the Dirkschneider, of course. That is all except classic stuff what we are doing now, you know, you know, and but it's still fun, you know, to see that the people enjoy it. You know, you can see that from on when you're on stage. You know, they're smiling, smile on the face, and they react, yeah, and you know that makes you happy. You know, it's not like, I mean, of course, I don't know how many times I played Ball to the Wall. I cannot count it anymore. Yeah, I mean. But still, this song is now 40 years old, you know.
Yeah,
and
I think you know why though, because it's like it's that era of metal, that early 80s era where it was so new, so so different, and but also what I think is lost in a lot of modern metal is there was sing along, the audience could get involved. It was positive message and fast, right? And I think that's why it's endearing, because it is that perfect essence of metal, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. I mean, in a way, I always say, you know, give the people what they want, you know. And for me, it's the most important. I mean, in a way, we entertain people, you know.
Yeah.
So that means send him home with a smile on the face, you know. And that's like,
that's right. That's right.
That's the most important thing, you know. And of course, sometimes they say, "Oh, again this song, again this song," but it's a complete story when you are on tour and you go on stage and see every night the people are happy.
Yeah.
What else you want?
And it always sounds ever so slightly different. The guitarist is slightly faster. You're in a different key slightly. It's human, right? Like
of course. Yeah. Of course. Sometimes you do also some mistakes on stage, you know. But okay, that there are little mistakes. Sometimes, you know, say, shit, I played the wrong note on the guitar. And I say, hey, come, nobody heard it. You know, it's just you hear that. You know, like, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit out of tune, but anyway. So I mean, that's a nature thing, you know. If we are not playing, we are not doing a playback show.
But so how? Here's a question I've always liked to ask someone of yourself who's been around for such a good time in the industry. How do you keep your vocals so fresh? Because I've heard you recently on videos, and you don't sound. Not saying, but you don't sound like you lost any of it.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing, you know. I mean, I think I'm really lucky with that. I mean, I know a lot of colleagues in this business. They have really problems with the voice, with the vocals, and I don't know. I mean. It's interesting. I mean, I think I'm really lucky with that. You know, I mean, I go every year to a doctor, check everything, you know, and all here about that, no problem. And also, I mean, I'm working now together with the vocal, still with my old colleague for Accept, like Stefan Kaufmann, you know, in the studio. And he said to me, this is a miracle. This is definitely a miracle, you know. And he said to me, sometimes you can sing higher than what you did in the 80s.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And I think that was what made Accept what they were. Don't get me wrong, the band were brilliant. The band behind you were brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely, because it's not, you know, everyone's in the team. But your voice was the thing, you know, that really drew, I think, the audience. And that's why I think the audience are going to come and see you here in Australia, is they want to hear that voice, you know?
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's a good example. Let's see, I mean, I'm a very good friend with Ripper Owens, you know.
Yeah, nice guy. Yeah.
And he told me the story with Judas Priest, you know. He said, yeah, I can sing all the songs, but this is like Rob Halford, you know. It's a character, it's the voice. It's the same when Bruce Dickinson was not in Iron Maiden, you know, and Blaze Bayley did it. Yeah, I mean, I did many shows with him together in South America, and he told me also, like, yeah, but Iron Maiden was really not going down, but was playing in smaller halls and clubs and stuff like that. Bruce Dickinson came back and
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
that's the
It's
thing.
crazy. Because like I think what we're missing in, I think truly, Udo, what we're missing in modern rock is frontmen, strong frontmen. And I don't mean that in a sexist way, front women as well, just strong, independent voices and faces that people can look up to. Like I look up to guitar, I'm a guitar, like Guitar Hero, you know, guitarists are, and it's same with vocalists. You don't like you, Freddie, Bruce, Rob, they're just, it's
Yeah,
missing.
that's the thing. And I mean, you're really right. I mean, when I'm watching now new bands, there is no character really coming on stage
Yes.
as a singer, you know. That's
Theatrics.
what I'm missing, you know. It's like really like, yes, some quite near, but not really, you know.
No.
And then
The theatrics. I mean, when I watch you on video, because I've only seen you on video, sadly, it's theatrics. You know, you come on. It's like Bruce. It's like Rob. It's you know, you're giving the people a show, and I think that's what we're going to really look forward to seeing when you're here. It's just the show, right?
yeah, that's the thing, you know. And I mean, I think it's also like, we can talk about this hours. I mean, everybody has a character, you know, and I think some people, they need just helping, you know, that they said, hey, you have to do like this and this way on stage, you know. For me, it was the same. I mean, the management came up and said, you know, that was like also planned, I think, with my camouflage thing, you know, in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then the management came up and said, "Nah, maybe can you imagine that you cut your hair?" I said, "No, never."
Oh.
I had the hair like this here, you know.
Yeah.
And then she said, you know, it doesn't fit together with the camouflage. And she was right. I mean, my movements on stage are not like David Lee Roth, you know, jumping around or whatever.
No. Yeah.
And she saw what kind of character I have on stage, or what I need to come out with this character. And she was right.
You know, exactly right.
So,
It does take people like that to say that, right? It takes people to go, this, I think this is the movement, this is the moment. And you go, oh, no.
yes.
And then suddenly, bang, 50 years later, you're so recognizable.
That's the thing. That's the thing, you know, and that's, I don't know, maybe I open up a school for this. I don't know. I mean, yeah, and you know, I saw some really good young bands, you know, also the singer really good. And I said, yeah, but this is wrong how he's doing everything on stage. You know, I have to do it a little bit differently.
But do you think, Udo, it's because you were raised in an era where you had to do your hard yards? You played the clubs, you played the stages, and you had the heroes to watch, right? I think now, because most of them now are bedroom heroes, you know, recording in their studios at home, very rarely learning the craft, which is the thing that you had to do.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, we did everything. I mean, in the beginning, we were just also playing in clubs in Germany, 30 people showed up. But you have to give 100%. It doesn't matter if that 30 people, 300, 3,000, 30,000, 80,000, you know. And the thing is also to learn how to handle everything, like rock clubs, little bigger halls, festivals, stuff, you know. And that's the thing what you can learn, you know. And I mean,
yeah, I think and I reckon there's people like you that could teach that, because I think that's sometimes I go to some shows. I know we've got to wrap up soon, but I know I go to some shows and I feel empty afterwards, and I mean that nicely. The music's amazing, but I come away and I go, like,
I know, but
yeah.
I know what you mean. Look, like for me, a big example is, I mean, I was watching nearly from the beginning on Rammstein.
Yeah.
And okay, it's a show, unbelievable what they're doing, you know. No, but they was clever, you know. They're making like it's a theater thing on stage, you know. But sometimes I think if you put everything away, what they have. Yeah. Just listen to the music can be, after a while, sorry to say this, a little bit boring.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just the whole thing, you know. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know.
my dad used to call smoke and mirrors. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's distracting you from what's not going on, right?
Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
because they don't. A lot of them. I mean, again, it's just that spirit of rock and roll that seems to be slightly missing. The Chuck Berrys of this world, you know what I mean?
And for me, it's like, if you're doing smaller clubs, like in the example for 500 or 800 people, 1,000 people, it's really, be honest, I like that more than to play on a big festival. This is like really right into your face. The audience is very near, and this is really like, yes.
Yeah, and you're going to get that in Australia. You're going to get that here in Australia because you're playing the Manning Bar and Croxton. They're great venues. You're close to the audience. It's dark and dank, like a good club should be. Sticky floors, beer on the wall.
Okay. So and that's I'm really looking forward to see what's going on in Australia. And what I said before, and hopefully we can open up the market and we come back for more shows.
I hope so as well. I really hope so. I really, really do. Now, I think we've only got a short time left. I think we've got a minute or two. I'm sure you've got so many people you have to talk to, Udo. I'm sure.
I know. It's always like, but that's the life of part of the business.
That's it. The life of a rock god. That's what happens, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. It was lovely speaking to you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you down here. I cannot wait, actually.
Okay.
Safe travels.
And what can I say? I mean, really looking forward to come and make a good show, definitely a really good show. And by the way, we have my old member, my colleague from Accept, the bass player, Peter Baldus.
Oh, yes.
So in a way, it's quite nearly Accept on stage.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. See you soon, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye for now.